10-year-old boy performs heartwarming routine for a blind deer every day. It can sometimes feel like true acts of charity are hard to come by these days. After all, people are often so preoccupied with their own happiness that extending any kindness to others becomes a rarity. It can be a pretty tough and unrewarding place, and it's easy to start feeling beaten down. However, every now and then we see something that restores our faith in humanity. These simple actions don't need to be something that can change the whole world, but every once in a while, good deeds, no matter how small, can make all the difference. One Reddit user recently posted a story about a blind deer that's been living in his neighborhood. Under ordinary circumstances, an animal like this wouldn't survive. Yet the man noticed that someone had been doing something very special for this creature. Disabled animals don't normally survive in the wild. Without their ability to see, hear, or smell, they would either starve, be attacked by a predator, or get hit by cars. The world is tough enough on animals who live in the wild, so when one of their senses is compromised in any way, it's a real problem. This is especially true for deer. They're already a target for predators like wolves, coyotes, and hunters, and any disability increases their chances of being injured or worse. While deer rely heavily on their hearing and sense of smell to survive, they must also be able to see. So when one man noticed a young blind deer wandering around his neighborhood, he knew her time was limited. But the man wasn't the only one who noticed this poor deer. Every day, a 10-year-old boy from the neighborhood would come out from his house and approach the animal. At first, the man didn't know what he was up to, but once he realized the boy's intentions, he couldn't help but share the story online. The man was astonished. Each day, the boy would help lead the deer around the neighborhood to find places to graze and eat. He'd guide her gently by the neck from one patch of grass to another. Surely, without the help of this boy, the deer wouldn't have been able to get herself the food and water she needed in order to survive. And without the man posting his pictures online, something incredible wouldn't have happened. When news of the deer's story was released, a local animal rescue organization took note. Rescuers were able to bring the deer to a sanctuary where she could live safely and happily without having to worry about where her next meal will come from, or if predators were nearby. Finally, this deer can live in peace, and it was all thanks to the boy's act of kindness. What a generous and compassionate kid. If the deer could write him a thank you card, she absolutely would.